Hello, today we're going to work on problem 43 from page 97, which involves using a chain of conversions to solve a problem. And this particular problem asks us to convert 2 weeks to minutes. Now we may not know exactly how many minutes there are in 2 weeks, but we know quite a bit that could lead us to find that particular answer. For instance, we do know that there are 7 days in 1 week. We know that there are 24 hours in 1 day. We also know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Now, part of the problem when converting from one unit to another is trying to decide if you are going to multiply or if you are going to divide. The method that we're going to talk about today really takes the guesswork out of the procedure. Now we're going to start with what they gave us, and that is 2 weeks. And I'm just going to write 2 weeks down here, abbreviating a bit. And I'm going to set it up as a ratio. In other words, I am going to set it up as a fraction. And because I don't really have a denominator that I need right now, I'm just going to put the standard denominator of 1. Remember, we can turn any number into a fraction by putting it over 1. And I'm going to start multiplying by conversion factors that will lead us from a week to hours. Now, because we know that there are 7 days in 1 week and that they are equal to each other, I'm going to set up the next fraction in my conversion so that the weeks will divide out, simplify out, cancel out, whichever term you're used to seeing. So when I place this particular information, I'm going to place it in the fraction so that 1 week falls in the denominator and 7 days falls in the numerator. That's so that, and you'll see this in a moment, I will be able to divide out or simplify out those weeks. Remember your basic rules for multiplying fractions. You can simplify any numerator with any denominator, and that's true for labels as well. That really means that what I can do here is actually not divide out the number, but just cancel out those labels. So right now the only label left in my problem is days, but that's not really where I want to be. I want to bring this all the way down to hours, and then finally to minutes. So what I'm going to do next is to set up the next conversion to look like the other ones, more or less. And I'm going to set up my second conversion factor now because I would like days to go away because I'm moving towards minutes. I know that there are 24 hours in 1 day. The days, my label, are diagonally across from each other. So those now can be canceled out. Or divided out if you're happier with that terminology. And now I've gone from weeks to hours. I'm almost there. The next portion of this problem is to convert hours to minutes. And I do know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So again, I'm going to set up my fraction line. And I'm going to put 1 hour in the denominator, so it will cancel with the hour label in the previous numerator. And then I'm going to put 60 minutes in the numerator. Now I'm ready to do my last bit of simplification. The hours can be divided out. And if you look at where we are now, the only label we have left in the problem is minutes. And I'm going to bring that over here. Now to figure my final answer, I'm going to multiply all of the numbers in the numerators together and then all of the numbers in the denominators together. Now sometimes this particular problem works out so that 1 happens to be in all of our denominators. But if we were going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, we would be dividing instead of multiplying here. So in this particular case, it does work out that we multiply 2 times 7 times 24 times 60, which happens to give us 20,160. And then if I multiply all my 1's together, obviously 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 20,160 divided by 1 is just 20,160. I have my label that I need, and now I know that 2 weeks is equivalent to 20,160 minutes. Now to briefly recap things to remember here. First, we set up conversion factors. We took what we knew, 7 days in 1 week, 24 hours in 1 day, 60 minutes in 1 hour, and jotted those down. Then we started with what we were given, and we worked through the steps, adding the conversions that we knew to our problem. And then finally, because we are multiplying all the way through here, we multiply all the numerators together, all of the denominators together. We divide the numerator by the denominator to get our final answer. Hope that was helpful.